afternoon and welcome to the Liquid Green Health Show with your hosts, Fred and Janet Cox, right here on Reality Radio 101. To get on board right now, send us an email. Our email address is liquidgreenhealthshow@gmail.com. And now, ladies and gentlemen, right to your hosts of the Liquid Green Health Show, Fred and Janet Cox.
Hello. Good afternoon. Boy, what an afternoon it has been. I have never driven this fast on the highway.
Yeah.
The 401 and the Don Valley Parkway in order to get here on time because we were at another function, and fortunately we got here just in time. Thanks to our producers for holding the fort for us. Good afternoon. This is the Liquid Green Health Show, and greetings to our listeners and viewers across Canada, the United States, and around the globe. We are the Coxes, and of course we invite you to sit back, relax, put your feet where it is most comfortable, and enjoy the next hour of edutainment. We're hoping that this steers you on an exciting journey toward a vibrant and healthier lifestyle. We love your comments. Please keep them coming to liquidgreenhealthshow@gmail.com. That's liquidgreenhealthshow@gmail.com. And let us know where you're tuning in from. That's very good. It helps us to, know where our audiences are. So if you're watching YouTube, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and leave a comment, please. We want to get those comments coming in. And let us know again what you think of this broadcast. We want to get your views on it. You can also check us out, all of our broadcasts, as a matter of fact. You can hear it on Spotify, or you can watch us on YouTube as well. And yes, again, send your comments to liquidgreenhealthshow@gmail.com. That's liquidgreenhealthshow@gmail.com. Now, apart from the excitement that we've had today, I'm not going to talk much about that in the interest of time. This past week, we've had an eclipse.
Yes.
And
thanks to us, we dragged you out to go see the eclipse.
Yeah, I was kind of hesitant. I'm saying, no, I'm going to watch it on TV because you're going to get all the, you're going to see everything from beginning to end.
And I think probably now in retrospect, I know friends who just watch it on TV said, oh, you should have watched it on TV because there was so much cloud cover anyway.
Yeah, it was a good experience. Yeah, very good experience. I actually got goosebumps, because it really, really was something that, even though we didn't get a chance to see, because it was a lot of cloud, where we were, it was very cloudy.
We went to Coburg by the beach.
Yeah.
And it was dark.
But when that moment of darkness arrived, you saw the shadow just coming, and it's coming, and then boom, it's there. And
spiritual.
Everything. It was a spiritual experience for me.
It's funny, even though we see this over and over and over, day turns into night.
Yeah.
But just having night in the middle of the day.
Yeah, it was
for
amazing.
A few minutes was awesome.
All the cell phones, you could see the cell phones, people taking pictures, and when I looked up to my right, there were two drones there.
Okay.
You can tell they're drones because you can see the lights flashing, and it's amazing. It was a wonderful experience. Yeah. And you know what? Only about 45 million people in the whole of North America were in the path of that, and so it really was good. Anyway, today we have a fantastic topic, folks, and seriously, I always tell my listeners, get a pen and paper, because the information we're giving is something that they need to take notes. This is like broadcast school, right? So you need to take notes. Get your friend, get a pen and paper, and because what we're going to be talking about today has to do with health.
Yes,
right?
Like
and
everything we talk about,
yeah.
Right? And what we decided this week, we were gonna, for the next month, I think, or next month, 2 months, we're hoping to look at different supplements.
Yes.
And today we're going to talk about one particular supplement, which is Ganoderma. But Ganoderma is one of the mushrooms. And when we talk about mushrooms, what comes to mind, Frederick, when you think mushrooms? What do you think of? If somebody says, do you have mushrooms? Are you going to cook mushrooms? Which one comes to mind?
Uh, I don't even know the names, but it's the little white ones.
White ones.
Shiitake?
No, that's not shiitake.
I don't know what they're called.
It's
They're just the little white ones.
button ones.
I don't know. They look like shirt buttons.
Apparently, that is like the standard for the name mushroom.
Okay.
It's the cultivated white mushroom. The actual name is Agaricus bisporus, and that's the Latin name. But we have two different types of mushrooms. We have the ones that we use culinary, right? That's when you talk about the shiitake, etc.
Okay.
Right? And then there's a whole bunch of others that you cannot eat like that. They're hard, like the one we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, I remember when we were kids growing up and you see mushrooms growing wild, we used to say it's Jumbie umbrella.
Or toadstools.
Yeah.
That's
what we
name,
call it.
toadstools.
Yeah.
And people would say, don't eat them, they're poisonous.
Yeah.
And some of them are.
Maybe the ones we saw growing up in the bush, you know.
Probably most mushrooms you really shouldn't eat raw, right?
Yeah.
But there's like shaka. We're not going to talk about all of these, but there are other types.
There are several types of mushrooms.
Right?
They come in all colors and stuff like that.
There is one called lion's mane, and that one really helps with cognitive function and focus. And then, of course, another week we'll talk about cordyceps.
Yes.
Because cordyceps
is also a form of
high performance. That's the one that, the athletes in China used. And then with coffee, we hear about chaga, right? And then there's another one. I don't know. I've not used it or seen it, but it's called turkey tail.
Wow.
Turkey tail mushroom, and that's one of the superfoods in mushrooms, just like Ganoderma that we're going to talk about today.
Yeah. So today,
it's just to give you an overview about mushrooms.
Right. So today we want to focus specifically on on one type of mushroom, and that type is Ganoderma, as you mentioned, often referred to as Reishi or Ling-zhi, right? Depending on what part of Asia you're from. And the health benefits, we're going to tell you about the health benefits of this particular mushroom and how and where you can get this pure natural supplement. Yeah. So we'll get to that later on in the year.
Yeah.
In the show.
Right. So just before you continue with Ganoderma, if you were to look culturally, they have researched out of the 50 most healthy elevated foods culturally. So if you go to India, China, the Caribbean, Africa, Europe, wherever you go, at least 10 of these are mushrooms.
Wow.
So that's how powerful and how popular mushrooms are.
That's how popular they are.
Right?
Okay. So Ganoderma is a fungus, but it's not just a fungus. It has fascinated humans for centuries, right? It has a rich history and a host of interesting features. Ganoderma lucidum, right, is an oriental fungus that has over 2,000 years of history of cultivation. Yeah. And it's used for promoting health and longevity in China, Japan, and other Asian countries. It is a large, dark mushroom, and it has a kind of a glittery exterior or a glossy exterior.
That's the name, actually. It's Ganoderma. Gano means shiny. Derma means skin.
Oh, right? Okay. Shiny skin.
Yes.
Right. And it has a woody texture. So that would be very difficult to cook and eat because it's hard.
Yeah, you can't bite into it.
Right. And
that's with most of the medicinal mushrooms that we mentioned. You can't just bite into them.
And its name, basically, as you said, refers to shiny, and it refers to the varnish appearance of the surface of the mushroom. Now, in China, Ganoderma lucidum is called Ling-zhi, right? Whereas in Japan, the name for the same Ganoderma family is Reishi or Manitake.
And I think that's a popular name. Most people would say, if you say Ganoderma, you probably will find most people will call it Reishi as opposed to Ganoderma. right? That's the most popular.
But way back in the day, the thing is, only the nobility could afford this mushroom, for it was believed that the sacred fungus, they look at it as a sacred element of nature, grew in the home of the immortals on a place that's called the Three Isles of the Blessed off the coast of China. And in Chinese, the name represents a combination of spiritual potency and essence of immortality, and is regarded as the herb of spiritual potency, symbolizing success, well-being, divine power, longevity, and all those things that have to do with spirituality.
And the Japanese said it's the mushroom of immortality.
Oh, so that's why they call it. Now, among cultivated mushrooms, this Ganoderma is unique in that its pharmaceutical rather than nutritional value is paramount. Now, there's a variety of commercial Ganoderma lucidum, I keep saying lucidium, it's lucidum products that are available in various forms, such as powders. You can get it in dietary supplements, you can get it as a tea, and they are produced from different parts of the mushroom, right? And we get into that a little later, including the spores and the fruity body.
Actually, the spores is the most important part.
Is that?
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that's what Ganoderma, it's the spores that has to be broken.
Right. And actually, later on in the show, the product that we're going to be talking about is made from the spores of the Ganoderma, right? Now, because of the rich history of Ganoderma and the long tradition of medicinal use, Ganoderma, in its purest form, is now one of the few mushroom species whose DNA has been fully sequenced. 16,000, over 16,000 genes have been identified, which is more than any other mushroom species. And that's why today, Reishi or Ling-zhi stands out as one of the most valuable of all polypore mushrooms in nature for the benefit of our health. That's why this particular mushroom is being used in just about every pharmaceutical research that you can think of. Yes. They use it, right?
As a matter of fact, in general, what research shows is that at least 75% of pharmaceuticals, they have to revert to natural products.
Wow.
A pharmaceutical won't study a whole food. Like they don't really study blueberries and strawberries and the fruit, the whole food.
Right.
But because there's no money in doing that.
Right. And it's easy to get.
You can patent some of those things, right? But they're forced to use some of the properties because that's where life comes from. That's where healing comes from.
Okay.
It's from the plants, right? It's from nature.
Okay. And what's amazing about it, even though there are over 400 species of Ganoderma, the Ganoderma lucidum is I keep mispronouncing this word. Ganoderma lucidum is the most widely studied, as you said, and used for medical purposes. It belongs to a group of mushrooms known as polypores. And these mushrooms are wood-decaying fungi that grow in trees and logs, and they display a distinctive shelf life form. Right. Now, today we're going to be talking about the properties in Ganoderma, what it does, how they perform, and hopefully that will give you an idea as to why you should start paying attention to this particular type of mushroom. Because folks, from what I have known, from the research that we have done, and we use it, right? We use it in a supplemental form.
That's why you look so good.
That's why I look so good. Everybody tells me I look like 25, with a little bit of beard, right? And gray beard of that too. So.
And at this point, you should have said yes, and that's why you look so good.
No. I'm focusing on me today.
Why am I not surprised, right?
Because of what you said to me earlier this morning. I'm not going to put that one in here. Right? But once we're hoping that once our listeners get a good understanding, we're going to try to break this down in layman terms because we're not doctors. We're not scientists, but the information is there, and we've gleaned this information, preceded, and now we're going to bring it to you folks in the best possible way.
Form, right.
Right.
And
that you
one
can
of
understand.
the things that I found really fascinating was when you think of mushrooms, you think more plants than animals, correct?
Yes, yes.
But would you believe that as humans, we're more closely related to mushrooms,
Yeah.
if you had to look at it from a comparative point of view, than we are to plants?
Yeah.
Because the mushroom, yes, it is a plant. It's a
It's a fungi.
Fungi, right? And they don't produce just like humans. They actually use oxygen and give off carbon dioxide.
Okay.
Right? I found that
Whereas
really
plants do the reverse.
Plants do the reverse. So they also have to look for an outside source of food.
Okay.
Like we do.
Right.
And that's why they feed on the logs, which you're going to get into, the dead logs.
So I
found that really interesting.
Do they take essential oils, omega fatty acids?
No, but they help. The mushrooms actually help plants to collect nutrients and help plants to collect water.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Interesting. Now, Ganoderma has phytochemicals, right? And bioactive compounds, including things like polysaccharides, right, which are complex carbohydrates that can support immune function, enhance gut health, and possess anti-tumor properties.
Yes.
Right? Now, want to bear that term in mind, anti-tumor properties.
So that means anti-cancer.
Precisely.
Right.
And that is why so much research is being done with this particular brand of mushroom. And they have, specific functions. They stimulate the immune system by activating immune cells, such as macrophages,
yes.
And natural killer cells.
Right.
And they may also, listen to this, they may also help in lowering blood sugar levels.
Right.
Right? Isn't that amazing? Right? It's amazing. And I'm going to explain, as we go along, I'm going to explain what macrophages, what they do, and how important they are when it comes to healing the body. Now, Ganoderma has several effects on the white blood cells.
Yeah.
Right? They help to enhance the immune system's function. It helps to regulate and enhance activity of white blood cells, including this big fancy word, macrophages and lymphocytes. Right? These cells, they play a vital role in defending the body against pathogens and disease cells.
Yes, if I can explain a little bit further, what exactly happens is with the white blood cells, the genes, what the Ganoderma does is to help it to increase the production of more killer cells, right? And they do that by increasing the T cells and the B cell counts to strengthen cell-mediated immunity. And that's right. And that is what improves the antibody responses. And all mushrooms have that faculty. All mushrooms can do that, but Ganoderma in particular.
Well, let me give you an even better explanation, right? I want you to think of macrophages as the Pac-Man of your body defense system.
Okay.
And just like
gobble.
Right, they gobble up stuff, right? Just like the Pac-Man eats up dots and ghosts in the game, macrophages go around gobbling up harmful invaders like bacteria and viruses. And when a macrophage finds a germ, it wraps itself around it and swallows it whole. This trapped germ is then put into a special room inside the macrophage where it's broken down and then it is destroyed. Just like how Pac-Man destroys ghosts, this whole process of eating and destroying germs is called
phagocytosis.
Right. It is called phagocytosis.
Right. This is the destruction of the
destruction of the germ. And then you have antigen presentation, right? Imagine a macrophage as a sort of a scout, right, of a game. They go out there and they look for the best players, right? They are the scouts in our immune system. After it eats up the germ, like a bacteria or virus, it doesn't just stop there. It takes little pieces of that germ. This is how bad and intelligent this thing Is right.
That's a human body for you, right?
It takes little pieces of the germ and then it puts it on display on its outer surface, much like pinning parts of a broken enemy flag on its armor.
Yeah.
Right. This is the military thing that's happening here now.
And that's why they always, even remember with COVID?
Yeah.
Every time they describe the virus and what the cells will do in the body, they always refer to it as the army.
The army.
I think the army takes notes from what happens in the body, right?
And all military strategies is structured off the body and how it works, right? Now, these little pieces, they're called antigens. Now, those antigens, they are displayed to the T cells, which is the attack cells. They're the super guys in the body, right? They're a unit of special forces in our immune system that are looking for specific targets to attack. And when these T cells see the antigens displayed by the macrophage, it's like they're seeing a most wanted poster, right? You got to get this guy, right? So the T cells, they go after them. And they, that poster, they give it, that's the signal to go get them, to start a specific attack against the germ that the antigen came from. And this is what I call nature at its best when it comes to teamwork.
Yeah.
Everything is working in unison and, capturing, destroying, holding, putting in a holding cage. And that's nature at its best, right? So that's how it works. And then you have cytokine production, right? This mushroom is responsible for all of this. Cytokine production. Macrophages produces various cytokines, which are signaling molecules that can stimulate or inhibit the function of other immune cells. And this helps to regulate the immune response, ensuring that it is appropriate for a specific threat and does not become an overreaction, potentially causing inflammation, because that's what would happen, and damage to the body's own tissues.
Well, if we can talk a minute in simpler language about inflammation.
Yeah.
Good or bad for the body?
Too much of it is no good.
All right. I'm glad you answered it like that. Because
you need
that's
information.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Because inflammation is good.
Yeah.
Because when the body first contacts something alien, inflammation is the method in which it captivates and surrounds
it. It's a defense mechanism.
And it gets that better.
Yes.
Right. So if you need to have that phase. But when it becomes bad, is, as you say, if it's prolonged.
And that's when the pain steps in.
It affects every other situation in the body.
Yeah.
Because that's a cause of most of our diseases, most of our ailments.
Lupus and other stuff. Yeah.
Inflammation of some sort.
Arthritis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And so this whole thing about macrophages and how they work, it's amazing, because it's also responsible for tissue repair and wound healing, right? Like after an infection or injury, these macrophages, they help resolve inflammation by clearing the dead cells and debris from the site of damage. This is like there's an accident on the road, animal or a human gets injured or killed, a party of cleaners got to come in and clean it up. And so they secrete factors, like you said, like inflammation, that promote the growth of new tissues and help in the repair of damaged tissues.
Right.
Very crucial.
Anti-inflammatory.
Right.
Sure.
And then they are also responsible for the regulation of normal physiological functions, like maintaining homeostasis in various organs. For example, they help regulate iron levels in the body by recycling iron from old blood cells. And then you have the development of organ system during embryonic growth, like that, and continue to contribute to the normal function and maintenance of, the cells.
All your organs. Throughout your entire life.
It's amazing. Right. And all of those properties are in this one mushroom, right? Now, then we have the lymphocytes. They play a specific role, right? Basically, their role is to allow the body to remember and respond more swiftly. It's almost like a messaging role that they play. They respond more swiftly and effectively to pathogens it has encountered before. So the memory, every cell has a memory, right?
And that's why vaccines become
That is how the
important
vaccines are supposed to work.
Yeah,
They're
because if the body has that, if the body can recognize that this organism previously was bad for the body, it was a problem. The fact that they can now recognize it means they're always, forever onwards, they'll be prepared to deal with
whenever that pathogen comes in, it gets rid of it. Right. Now,
but then we won't get into the vaccines.
No, that's a whole different story, a whole long story.
Right?
That's several shows in the making. Now, let me just do some identification here. Folks, you're listening to the Coxes on the Liquid Green Health Show radio and broadcast, and we're streaming live today on Reality Radio 101. If you're watching us on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this broadcast, because the more people that hear about us, it's the better for our show. We will grow. And also, check out our previous broadcasts on Spotify. You can get all the audio there. And if you want to, watch the video, go to YouTube as well. Of course, you can send your comments to liquidgreenhealthshow@gmail.com. That's liquidgreenhealthshow@gmail.com. And let us know what you think of the show. All right.
Okay. Did we check for
any email?
Emails?
You got any email? You want to do that now?
Sure.
Okay, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about other stuff about this amazing natural supplement. Okay, we did get a few
from Shane
that came in before the show, and I can't find them. Anyway, we'll start with Shane.
Sorry, Gordon.
Okay. Yeah, we'll start with Shane. Shane says, looking forward to the show today. And Shane, I hope that you're listening. Thank you for writing in. Peter says, happy Sunday to the Liquid Green Show staff.
Another Sunday is here that I can relax and listen to your broadcast. I am almost a doctor with the information that I receive from your show each week. Thank you very much for the free education. And he says from Dr. Pete. So if you're learning, Pete, from the non-doctors to be a doctor, what are we then, right?
Oh, man. Good. Thank you, Pete. You want to get this one? Yeah, go there.
From Brian, he says, was that the Coxes that passed me on the 401 at 150 kilometers per hour? Actually, you know what? Frederick mentioned that he was driving so quickly and we were a couple minutes late. If you notice, we started a little late. But as I said, if I was driving, we would not have been late.
Yeah.
We would have been 2 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, Brian, you don't believe that. I know you don't believe that, Brian. Here's one from Janice.
Hello, Coxes. When Janet asked Fred what type of mushroom he thought about, I thought about the kind that I smoked. Rooms. Love you folks. Rooms. Right. Is this is it legal? I'm sounding dumb right now.
It's some kind of hallucinating drugs. I'm not in the drug thing. I don't know.
I don't know. You should, Janice, you need to let us know. Rooms. We're dating ourselves if we don't know this, right?
Yeah, we need to get out there more often.
Sounds interesting, right?
We'll ask the producers. They'll tell us. Right. And here's one from Dear. Fred sounds like a scientist pronouncing all of those mushroom words. Hello to Janet. Interesting topic today. Thank you. And thank you very much, dear. Thank you. And Bonnie says,
do you sell this stuff? And
Bonnie, we'll tell you about that later, Bonnie.
Excellent question, because one of the reasons we bring these products on, if we talk about something that we have actually used and we have access to, we always like to share it.
Yes.
And so we're going to make sure we leave enough time to tell you about Ganoderma, how you can get it, and why we like it.
And it's all pure and natural, folks. This is not the stuff that you get in the other stores and online. They're not filled with any fillers. Okay, this is real stuff, and trust me, it
And
works.
Ari says, "Good afternoon, Coxes. Does Fred get inflammation when Janet smacks him?" Depends on where.
Inflammation. Inflammation.
Depends on where, Ari. He's just wondering. This is such an interesting topic, mushrooms. No one really talks about this. We're listening to you from Atlanta, Georgia.
And
Wonderful.
thank you so much for that, Ari. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. So with that, folks, we're going to get back to the show because you know what? In an hour goes so quickly.
22 minutes.
Yeah, so quickly. It's way after 6 already. And we have quite a bit of information we want to pass on to you. So once again, you're listening to the Coxes on Reality Radio 101. This is our radio broadcast. And we're also streaming live on YouTube. You can send us an email at liquidgreenhealthshow@gmail.com. Let us get those comments going. So let's talk about triterpenoids.
Yes.
Right?
Another of those
Another
words.
one of those big words,
Okay.
right? What are
Good.
triterpenoids?
Okay, this is how I understand it.
Yeah.
Right? They're a special type of chemical. It's a natural chemical that's made by plants, right? So you can think of them like if you were to think of like Lego,
Okay.
that has so many individual pieces, but they all fit together. And I remember teaching school, the kids used to love Lego more than anything else because you can get a million toys out of the same pieces just by breaking them up and restructuring them. And that's exactly what happens to these carbon atoms. There are 5 carbon atoms, and each Lego piece in this case now, in these structures, there's a unit called an isoprene, which is a simple molecule that has, as I mentioned before, the 5 carbon atoms. So now, every time you put the Lego piece together, it comes up with a new toy. And that's why the mushroom is so important for the body, because it's so complex. And it's the complexity of it and the strings and the fact that it can do so many things.
It's amazing.
Makes it important to different parts of the body. And that's why it's good for inflammation, for cancer, for diabetes, for anything you can think of, for sleep.
You name it.
As we said, it's good.
This is really a superfood. This is what I would classify as a real superfood, because it helps, as you said, it helps to fight inflammation. Some can attack viruses or bacteria, or others might help, fight cancer. All these properties it has in it. So the Ganoderma.
Yes, they help the plants to defend themselves, right?
Yes.
And that is why in medicine, that's why these plants, the mushrooms, are so highly studied.
But the Ganoderma specifically is so highly studied because of the number of
the complexity
of genes that it has in it.
Yeah, the triterpenoids.
Yes.
Because of the formations of that, right?
Now,
I'm going to disagree with you, Frederick. You say Ganoderma is the most widely studied.
Yes, it is.
Because I don't know if that's true, though.
Yes, in my research, that's what I found.
And what I found is that there are others. There are
others, but because
the ones that are highly studied for medicine, it's not just Ganoderma, because there's cordyceps.
Yeah, but that
it's studied for different things.
Yeah,
so it depends on what
but the Ganoderma mushroom has a lot more benefits to health. And because of all the mushrooms, it has more
they're more dense. They're more dense. What we have to look at is not just the Ganoderma, because the Ganoderma would be in the same category as the cordyceps and the turkey tail and the other one I mentioned.
No, they're not.
Yes.
No, they're not.
The ones that are different are the ones that we just eat at the table, the culinary ones. So you have the medicinal ones and you have the culinary ones, like shiitake and the white button ones. That's what we're comparing. So of the medicinal ones, yes, Ganoderma has its special place, but not to say that it is superior.
It is superior in the sense that it has over 16,000 genes, much more than any other mushroom species. So
Okay.
today, the
Alright.
Ganoderma species, the Ganoderma lucidum is more studied in the medical profession than any other mushroom. Other mushrooms have benefits, but when it comes to the amount of genes,
Okay.
none has more than Ganoderma.
Well,
And that is why
in this case, I'm going to
I state my case.
Yes.
I state my case, right?
Okay.
So let's continue with the role of lymphocytes.
Terpenoids.
Triterpenoids, right? What is the function?
Mhm.
Right? It has biological activities, right? They perform a wide range of biological activities, including anti-inflammatory, antiviral, antibacterial, and anti-cancer properties.
Right.
See, we're coming back to that term again, anti-cancer properties, right? They have a protective role as well that they play in plants. In their natural settings, triterpenoids often play crucial roles in plant defense mechanism against pathogens and herbivores and they act as phytoalexins, right?
Another big word.
Another big word, man. You notice I have to hesitate before I call this.
At least we know what it is,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Because
And
the phytoalexins this is actually a group of naturally occurring compounds that's produced by plants. And as we said before, this is what they use. That's their defense mechanism.
Yes.
Against the stuff like bacteria
and
and virus, etc.
Now,
all right.
Ganoderma also is often called an adaptogen. Now, this is a term that might sound a bit, big, that's doctor term, but that's what is referred to as an adaptogen. But it simply refers to a type of natural substance that helps the body to handle stress better. Now, imagine an adaptogen as a supportive friend to your body who helps you stay calm and steady during rough times. Like me, when you're going through rough times, you always turn to me to, kind of calm you down.
Yeah, right.
So I am your adaptogen, okay? So when you consume adaptogens like Ganoderma,
that's when you're not creating the stress. When you're not creating the stress, you're my adaptogen. Okay.
They act like a sort of thermostat that helps regulate your body's stress response. Now, tell the truth, don't I? Don't I act like a thermostat to calm you down?
Yes, you're both. You're a stimulant and you're an adaptogen.
Do I not
you're
block?
Also the stimulant because you're also the source of the stress.
Do I
so
not
you create the stress and then you know how to solve it?
Do I not block the stress, right? But help your body to react to it in a healthier way, preventing you from getting too stressed out. Do I not do that? This can help you feel more balanced. Do I not make that happen? So I am your adaptogen. This way, Ganoderma, like other adaptogens, supports your body in maintaining optimal health when you might be facing physical, emotional, or environmental stress. So, folks, what we're talking about, and I can't stress it enough, is not an ordinary superfood. It's a superfood, right? This is what nature has provided us with. And if we can only pay attention to this type of superfood, a lot of the ailments that we experience, right, it will certainly address it.
Actually, there's a whole range. When we talk about foods, there's a range from superfoods at the high end.
Yeah.
And at the lowest end, we have the zombie foods.
Oh boy.
That's the candy and all the stuff that you like, the cookies in the car.
I had some cookies, I had some stuff today.
Then the next level is the ratchet. From the zombie foods, we have the ratchet foods and we have the shitty foods. And then we have the foods that most people eat. And then on the other side, we have the staples, the staple foods. Then we have the health foods. And at the top of the list, we have the superfoods. And that's what we're talking about.
And that's basically rolls right into the next statement I'm about to make. The many types of Ganoderma that's out there. You have black, blue, white, yellow, and you have purple varieties, right? Which each of them have their own unique properties. But the one that we're focusing on is the purplish, shiny looking one. That is the one that has that is much better. Okay.
Have you ever seen the real plant? Have you ever touched it?
No,
No?
you know what? I might have, but didn't recognize it. I might have seen it in a, you go into these Chinese health food
Yes,
stores,
yes,
you
yes.
probably
That they
might
have
see it.
so many things. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go out and actually look for it.
Yeah,
and
I've
see.
never seen it in the
Because
raw.
if you actually can get it raw, most times it's a supplement, and we're gonna look at the time.
Yeah,
We're
I'm
gonna-
looking at the
We
time.
need to get to that really
Yeah.
fast, because we want to tell people exactly what it's good for. But if you were to be able to get your hands on some, you'd have to really try and break it apart, and you can actually pour hot water on it for several hours,
Mhm.
and that you can use as a tea.
Okay.
Right? But as I said, most times it's going to be a supplement that you're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Or you have to break this down with
Mechanical.
alcohol.
Yeah.
With alcohol.
Okay.
So to make a tincture, again, if you were able to put, I guess, rum or alcohol on it
Mhm.
and leave it as a tincture,
Mhm.
you would also get medicinal
I would
benefits.
imagine that's how, the ancient
That's
people, they use
they
it.
how they
That's
use it.
how they use it long
So
ago.
if we weren't able to get it commercially,
Yeah.
that's what you would have to
But
do.
then you also have to be careful as to where it is grown. This particular
right.
brand of Ganoderma that I'm going to be talking about in the
Mhm.
supplement form is not this is grown organically.
Mhm.
This is not grown in a rice field or in sawdust.
Right.
This is pure 100% Ganoderma. Before I get to telling our audience how we can get it, I have a couple more email here I want to get on, and this is from Irene. And Irene is asking, can you grow this stuff on your own?
You could actually,
I think you can if you
because
get
what some of the growers do in a greenhouse,
Mhm.
you actually have to use dead logs because that's where they form,
Yeah.
right? You would use dead log and you would bury the log, and
Mhm.
then you would put the Ganoderma spores in it,
Okay.
and that's how they grow.
Oh, you know that. Who
I
told
did
you?
the research.
Oh, okay. All right. Here's another one from
I-
Chris. And Chris is saying, Cox, is this supplement available in a liquid form? Thank you. And he's listening from
Ottawa.
Ottawa. Unfortunately, we do not have it in a liquid form. We have it in the powdered form.
Yes, but I believe if, as I just mentioned, if somebody were to make their own tincture
Yeah.
to get it, right? But then of course it's so much easier.
For how long would it last?
Well, as a tincture, it would last forever because
Okay.
alcohol won't kill. It
Alcohol
will
doesn't
just,
spoil. Doesn't
right.
spoil anything.
But
Okay, so that's it in a nutshell, folks. This is an amazing it is an amazing natural supplement or natural product. If you can get your hands on it, make sure it's the pure form. It's in its purest form. And what I'm going to tell you here today is how you can get it. All right. Now, these facts that we've just, aired out to you, they barely scratch the surface of Ganoderma's rich history and the extensive research into its potential health benefits. They're still studying this product. Lots of scientific studies is going on right now. It is used heavily in the Orient, and they have been using it, as we said, for thousands of years. The West is now getting a glimpse as to what's been going on. So how do you get this product? We have access to 100% pure Ganoderma lucidum in the supplement form. And not only what you're getting is not just the Ganoderma powder in the capsule. It's coming with ginseng, and it's also coming with cordyceps.
Okay.
Right? So
which is good.
Super powerful.
Which is good because again, sometimes it's good, like because there's so many great varieties of mushrooms, it's actually good. For example, Ganoderma, you can take it throughout the day.
Yes.
But especially at night.
Yes.
Because it has qualities that will help to de-stress and
folks,
induce.
Yeah, what this does, it helps to repair the liver and the kidneys.
Yes.
It cleans and repairs. It has all of the nutrients that the body needs to work on cleaning up the blood. If you're diabetic, if you have cancer, if you've been diagnosed with cancer, if you've been diagnosed with, if you're taking chemo or radiation or whatever, this product is going to address those cells.
It's actually I would say it's almost, we're not doctors, so we're not giving
Yeah.
advice. But if I had cancer and was doing chemo, 100%,
I would take this.
this
I
is
would
what
take
you
this
take
over
to
chemo.
help to
Yes.
alleviate the damages, the ravages.
Because
of
chemo
the
does
cancer.
ravage and
Right.
in many cases damage the body. It's a shotgun effect. This targets specific cells,
Yeah.
right? And we can say that because the company
It's a
it's a pharmaceutical company, but all they do is make natural products. So when they tell you that this product attacks cancer cells, it helps with diabetes and stuff like that,
cancer.
they can say that because they have the license to do it.
Just like how Pfizer can make a
Yeah.
claim, they can make the claim because they've done
And
the
this
job.
product has an NPN number, not a lot number. So let me tell you quickly, because we're really running out of time. To get your supply of authentic Ganoderma Plus capsules, that's what it's called, Ganoderma Plus capsules, you can join our email list. That's liquidgreenhealthshow@gmail.com. liquidgreenhealthshow@gmail.com. Or you can go directly to our website, the liquidgreenhealthshow.com. That's liquidgreenhealthshow.com. Click on supplements. And when that button drops down, just type in the word, click on supplements, then click on Green World.
Yes,
right?
Because we have a couple of companies represented there.
Yeah.
Green World is one of them.
You're clicking on supplements and Green World, and then you type in the word Ganoderma, Ganoderma.
I was just
And
about
the
to tell
information
you
is
to
going to
spell
come up
it.
there. Right. And the
So
information.
wise minds think alike.
Yeah.
Ganoderma,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
So let me tell you again. You can either send us an email to liquidgreenhealthshow@gmail.com. That's liquidgreenhealthshow@gmail.com. Or you can go to our new website, liquidgreenhealthshow.com. Click on supplements, and there's a drop-down button. You look for Green World. You click on that, and once that page comes up, you type in the word Ganoderma, Ganoderma, and then you just follow the prompts.
And if I can just say something, most of the Ganoderma products you're going to find out there are going to be made from the whole fruiting body, the top,
Yes.
right? But
yes,
Ganoderma
yeah. This particular product, it's the
spores.
spores.
This product, it's the spores, and it's dually extracted and it's organic.
Yeah, and let me tell you,
this is one of the best qualities that you'll find on the market because the research has been done when they test 3/4 of the supplements.
oh my gosh, yes.
3/4 of the supplements tested contained zero
Loaded with fillers.
reishi, like the reishi mushrooms.
Yeah,
Nothing. Instead, what they have is something called it's mycelated grains, other grains that they've broken up.
Yeah.
You might have starch from oats, starch from rice,
all kinds of fillers.
And therefore you're spending a lot of money because people are looking for healthy stuff, for good stuff. We know the mushrooms work. But when you cannot trust the source, and it's such a big industry.
Yeah, it's really bad.
The supplement industry, and it's not that
not regulated. Yeah.
Then you have to be so careful. So then when we make a recommendation, we're putting our not names, but our reputation on the line.
And folks, these are products that we've been taking for quite some time. And you mentioned the spores. The reason why the company used the spores of this Ganoderma lucidum is that the spores are 80 to 100 times more potent than the fruit itself.
Yes.
Right? And it's the method and how they extract it. Yeah. And now what they've done to really boost the effectiveness, they've added cordyceps. And maybe next week we'll tell you about cordyceps. We try and put, or mention it. You got Ganoderma spores and you have cordyceps. Yeah. Right? And
double power.
That's double power. And then you have ginseng that works on the memory and the brain and stuff.
It's great. I don't go. We take what? I take 2-3 times a day.
Yeah, I take 6 a day.
And I find, this is no word of a lie, I have issues sleeping because Frederick always annoys me, and he's my stressor, and therefore
Now you're telling lies to me again. There you go. There you go. But
anyway,
they know the truth.
Sleep is an issue as you get older as well, right?
Yeah.
And when I take 2 Ganoderma before retiring, I find it helps a
Oh
lot.
my gosh, yes.
But we're almost out of time. There's one thing I wanted to mention. We do the show because of health reasons. One of the biggest things in health is cancer.
Oh yeah.
Right? When your doctor tells you you have cancer, most people look at that as the beginning of the end, the death sentence. But guess what, Frederick? We all have cancer. We were talking about that in the car today.
Yeah.
We all have cancer, and it says 41% will get a detectable form of cancer. Remember, we were talking to you about
it has to be at a certain stage.
Kate Middleton,
Yeah.
and wondering how long did she have it, etc. So 41%, it will be detectable in their lifetimes. 21% will die from cancer, but 73% of anti-cancer drugs have origins from natural products.
Right, and that is why.
And that's why a product like this
the Ganoderma
will help to fight.
It will help to fight it. So, folks, if you or you know of anyone that's suffering from any one of these, conditions, you need to take a look at Ganoderma. And the supplement again, go to liquidgreenhealthshow.com, click on supplements, then click on Green World and type in the word Ganoderma and, follow the prompts from there. You can also send us an email at Liquid Green Health Show. Now, we want to thank we're almost to the end of our show.
We are.
Right? We want to, an hour goes so quickly.
Well, an hour went extra fast today because we lost the first 3 minutes.
We were speeding getting here, and we made it, right? But before we go, I want to remind you to, if you're looking for non-toxic 100% green household cleaners, folks, go to liquidgreenproducts.com. We have a plethora of green household products there, all 100% non-toxic and, fragrance-free. You have a wide choice. If you're looking for natural health supplements, again, liquidgreenhealthshow.com, or you can write to us at the liquidgreenhealthshow@gmail.com and, get the stuff. And remember,
I'll read this now.
Okay.
I'll say this.
Let me hear how well you're going to say this. Let me see.
Remember, folks, good health is at the core of human joy and overall well-being. Its influence is profound, extending beyond personal vitality to significantly bolster prosperity and economic advancement. Thus, investing in your health is akin to investing in a brighter, more prosperous future for ourselves and the communities we inhabit. So until next Sunday, same time, same station, prioritize your well-being. This is Janet
and Fred
saying,
let's stay healthy on Reality Radio 101.
Thank you for listening to the Liquid Green Health Show with your hosts, Fred and Janet Cox, right here on Reality Radio 101.